So, let's talk about the Sydney Roosters. Coming into this season, the hype was absolutely massive. I mean, with a roster that stacked and one of the biggest signings in years, you'd expect big things. But, well, a few weeks in and the reality has been, let's just say, confusing. We've seen some heavy defeats and an attack that just looks clunky. It's got everyone asking the same thing: what on earth is going on with one of the NRL's powerhouse clubs?
Okay, let's really get into this because the gap between what everyone expected and what we're actually seeing on the field, well, that's right at the heart of the Roosters' early season problems.
And wow, when you put it side by side, the contrast is pretty shocking. On one hand, you've got the dream scenario, right? The blockbuster pairing of Sam Walker and the veteran Daly Cherry-Evans, which was supposed to fuel this fluid attack and have them right in the premiership conversation. But then you look at the reality, and the numbers, they just don't lie. They have the fourth worst attack in the competition. And this is the real killer. They're making the most errors in the entire league. It's a huge, huge disconnect.
That really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And you know what? The answer seems to be hiding in plain sight. It looks like it might actually be coming from a very deliberate and, you could say, a pretty controversial new strategy.
Yeah, the team's own attacking structure is now the central talking point. And that's especially true after one of their main guys made a pretty surprising admission.
And there it is, straight from the horse's mouth. Sam Walker himself called it their blueprint, and honestly, it's way more structured than anybody thought it would be. See, instead of the halves roaming and combining all over the park, the plan is basically to divide and conquer.
The plan's rigidity is crystal clear. You've essentially got the field split right down the middle. Walker's job is to run the left side. Daly Cherry-Evans' job is to run the right. It's a very disciplined, very structured approach, but it also doesn't leave a whole lot of room for instinct or playing what's in front of you.
So you can probably guess what happened next. A rigid plan that isn't getting results, it was always going to get some criticism. And it didn't take long for some of the sharpest minds in rugby league to start asking questions.
Former NRL 5/8 Josh Reynolds was one of the first to point out the big potential flaw here. He's basically saying that a creative, off-the-cuff player like Sam Walker needs freedom to do his thing. But by locking him into just one side of the field, this system might actually be putting him in a cage and taking away the very thing that makes him such a dangerous player.
And then you've got Blues coach Laurie Daley, who sees maybe an even deeper issue. He's sensing some confusion. You know, when the game's on the line, who's the guy? Who takes over? In the best teams, everybody knows the answer to that question. But right now, for the Roosters, it seems like they're still trying to figure that out.
But look, it's not just about the game plan. The whole debate over strategy is being made so much worse by a problem that's way more fundamental: a staggering lack of discipline.
I mean, this number just says it all, doesn't it? The Roosters are ranked number 1, dead last in the NRL, for both errors and for penalties given away. It doesn't matter how brilliant your blueprint is if you keep turning the ball over. You just can't build any pressure or get any momentum going that way. It's impossible.
Journalist Brent Read just hit the nail on the head here. This isn't some small problem. He called it their Achilles heel. And for a team that has dreams of winning the premiership, these simple, unforced mistakes are a truly fatal flaw.
So, you've got this controversial game plan, you've got an error count that's through the roof, the pressure is seriously building. And what's coming next is a match that could really set the tone for the rest of their entire season.
And to his credit, co-captain Daly Cherry-Evans is not shying away from it. He's come out and said, yep, our attack hasn't been good enough. But he's also asking for a bit of patience, insisting that the team is absolutely grinding behind the scenes to get it right.
And this is where it all comes to a head. Their very next game. It is a massive, high-stakes showdown against the Manly Sea Eagles. And you couldn't write a better storyline. It's the first time Daly Cherry-Evans is going up against his old club. You better believe all eyes are going to be on him and this entire Roosters system. It's going to be right under the microscope.
This really is the ultimate test, isn't it? Will the blueprint finally click into place, or is it going to crack under the pressure? A win could prove that their patient approach was right all along. But a loss? Well, a loss is just going to make all those awkward questions a lot louder and could force a major rethink of their entire strategy.
And that leaves us with this final thought to chew on. Are the Roosters' struggles all down to a flawed, overly rigid system that's holding back their best players, or is this just a simple matter of chemistry? Two superstar halves who just haven't quite figured out how to dance together yet. The answer to that question is probably going to define their entire season.